Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. One game to talk about. Astros beat the Yankees again. Let's talk about it. Oh no. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. Code JOHNBOY Playoffs, 10% off. Download the app, use SeatGeek. Also, they've been presenting all our streaming tonight with Cole Tucker and Paxton Elrod. Tuck in town, he's bringing the good vibes, and boy, do my and BBD and Jom's Yankees need it, Trev.
It's been a tough couple games for the Yanks offense in particular, but yeah, look, you need the good vibes. Day off today going to do you well, I think. We talked about what do you got to do? Is it curveball BP? Is it naked BP, which might be the key? Or do we have the home run hitting coach give a pep talk before the game? Maybe that's what we need, because we haven't seen any Statue of Liberties.
No.
Or fishing poles.
No.
We've seen a lot of strikeouts, and that's been the name of this series so far for the Yankees. 13 more Ks last night. A lot of swings and misses. And if you're the Yankees, that's the one thing that you have to fix, dude. You just can't swing and miss that much. It's the bottom line. Down 0-2, not a place to be.
Yeah, the big bad wolves do it again. Let's I'll burn it quick.
You gotta burn?
It's yeah, I mean it's not a pretty one because it's just so sad. Just so sad.
I like sad burns.
Go Stros, baby. Go Stros. Game 2 in Houston, and there's a Framber alert out for the Yankees offense as Valdez takes the bump for the Stros versus have you ever seen a Sevy with the butterfly nose? Sevy with the butterfly nose. Hey, stunting is a habit. Luis Severino on the bump for the New York Yankees. We're scoreless into the third. He tries to come in, but Alex Bregman, the daddy, gets his hands through and gets it to the Crawford box. It is 3-0. Astros. The Yankees, they punch back in the top of the fourth. Well, Framber lets him back in. He does some antics on the mound, and the boys get him home. It's 3-2. The Yankees get 2 gift runs. Will they take advantage? Judge. It's not gone, Trev. We'll talk about that. Astros, Framber Valdez, Brian Abreu, and Ryan Presley, 0 earned runs. Houston wins 3-2, and they are up 2-0.
That's the best burn I've ever heard you burn right there.
That's the emotion you like with those?
Yeah, I like when you're sad. Makes me feel good. Is that weird? What does that say about me as a person?
A little bit, man. It's a little fucked. Just a little messed up.
No, you know what? I want this to be a series, though. That's the thing. And we know the statistics behind it. Yankees had to squeak out one there in Houston. Right now, they're fighting an uphill battle. 84% of the teams that go up 2-0 go on to win the series. There's hope in Yankee land, I guess, because you got your guy going for you in the next game, in Game 3. But these first 2 games have just been an exploitation of a big problem in the offense. I mean, I keep harping on it, but it's the truth. You just can't strike out that many times. The roof thing, I know a lot of Yankee fans are kind of pointing at that. You have the Bregman ball that's hit at 91 miles an hour. It doesn't matter. Monchango was right. The elements are right. He understands that the ball was going to go that way. And you could see that people's pants whipping around. There was some wind there, probably swirling. I played with the roof open there. I played with the roof closed. It's definitely more of a hitter's environment when the roof is closed. It's a strange feeling there, because they rarely do have the roof open, at least in my experience. I remember facing Dallas Keuchel there with the roof open, and it was different. And the ball didn't fly as well. But, both teams are playing with the same elements. I know Judge hits that one to the track there. I saw Booney give the clap, top step, thinking, hey, we're about to go up in this game. Let's go get one. And then Kyle Tucker caught it right there, man. And Judge did hit another ball to center field pretty well. So, I mean, that's another thing the Yankees can take away from this. Hey, Judge, a couple nice hard contact there, but it's going to take a miracle, man, for the Yankees to get back in this thing, because Altuve and Yordan Alvarez haven't even got a hit in this series, and they're up 2-0 to none. And that's pretty scary.
Yeah, that is the scary part. I mean, a little bit of kudos to the Yankees. I mean, Yordan Alvarez coming into the series was the scariest dude in the world. Yes. Literally just ending games. Altuve, man, what a little funk he's in right now. The longest to start a playoffs ever. It's so crazy because you just know, like, I think Yankee fans are living in fear of it. I think Astro fans aren't even that worried. Like, he's going to come out. Like, I've seen it too many times. For the Yankees, it's tough, Trev, because I don't want to give you loser talk. But all the Yankees kind of have right now is loser talk. You went into Houston. Houston was rested. Hey, maybe you should have handled your business versus the Guardians better. You can point to scheduling and stuff like that, but that's your problem. And they went into Houston, and Houston won 106 games, and they have like incredible pitching up and down. Like that bullpen is incredible, and their starting pitching gives them an effort, but I don't know if Framber was in their head. I don't know if it's something with the curveball, man, because a couple of their at-bats were just – and Framber Valdez is really good. He broke the record for quality starts, consecutive quality starts this year. Like, he was automatic. That being said, for playoff at-bats, I mean, some of these Yanks, Trev, is just not where you need to be this time of year to want to win a game in Houston. No.
It's a tough pitch, because he can add and subtract to it, kind of start it in the zone, start it out of the zone, and do a bunch of different things to it, especially when he gets the feel for it. You hear pitchers talk about that all the time. Like, how's my finger pressure? What's it feel like coming, off of my hand? And he mentioned early in the game, he just didn't really have a feel for it. And a couple different times in his post-game interview, he mentioned working with like a sports therapist or a sports psychologist. I'm probably messing that word up, but he talked about how that's helped him so much this year be consistent. You just talked about the streak that he had with quality starts. And he mentioned after he zooed that ball, misplayed it and then threw it into right field, he said, before in my career, I might have let that bother me and I might have just, unraveled, if you will. But he was able to do his job. I mean, he keeps the ball in the infield. Rizzo hits the ground ball to first to move the runners over. Great at bat by him. But then he, Gleyber Torres with an infield single, and then he limits the damage. And it's funny because I saw a tweet today talking about the runs that the Astros have won these games by. It's like when one run, 2 runs, 1 run. It's very the difference is very small. But to me, when I'm watching these games, it never really feels like the other team has a chance, except for like that game that Yordan walked him off. Obviously, that was crazy, but they just don't make like mistakes. I don't know, man. Like, they just play like such a good brand of baseball that you just kind of trust them. And I don't know if that's us seeing them every year in the ALCS, understanding what kind of experience these dudes have in these situations that makes you trust them. But when you watch the Astros play these baseball games, they seem like they're in control.
Really
like
easy to bet on them
at all points. And I know it's a lot of it has to do with the Yankees striking out a bunch, but you have to tip your cap to their pitchers too for being able to do that, understanding the game plan, what we got to do. But yeah, this is a daunting task ahead for the Yankees, no doubt about it.
Alex Bregman, every year of his career, has gone to the ALCS. Stuff like that ends up mattering. Framber Framber Valdez is out there pitching with hair extensions in because he doesn't give a fuck. Like, are you kidding
those are
me?
those are not real.
Yeah, sorry. I thought they were real too. And I was like, that's the craziest haircut I've ever seen. And everyone's like, those are not real hair. That's extensions.
Now we know what you're going to be doing in the offseason for us.
And think about, it. Imagine, Trev, if there was a Yankees pitcher that lost a playoff game on a two-run error and he had extensions flying out the back of his hat. It's like sports talk porn. And speaking of, there's a little more loser talk coming up, and it's brought to you by Manscaped. Trev, you got to take care of your downstairs.
I just did.
You did.
Like yesterday.
You want to show the people?
Great. Yeah.
It's a good place to be, man. And Manscaped, they are the people. They have dedicated a whole company to this process, and they've got their Performance Package 4.0, which comes with the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. But you get the Weed Whacker, nose and ear hair. You're getting Crop Reviver ball toner. If you're not using that, you're behind the curve, like those Yanks. Go to Manscaped, get 20% off and free shipping with code Talkin at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code Talkin. Manscaped.com. Trim up down there. Give yourself the best chance to win. And it makes your dinghy look bigger when you trim. Trev?
If you want to have the confidence, I'm being serious about this, that Alex Bregman has in an ALCS game. He's been there, done that. I always forget how good it makes me feel when I doll myself up, if you will.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I'm like, dang, there you are. There you are, stud. Okay. So go get that feeling.
Let me give you a little bit of the loser talk, because it is part of the story, Trev, because everything you said was right. Houston has been in the driver's seat. I mean, the Yankees, game one, it never fully seemed like a threat. It was very much the phrase, and I've been saying this phrase around the office. I think the Yankees need to steal a game in this series if they want to win. And it felt like both of these games they would have had to steal. It didn't feel like the Yankees really put themselves in an opportunity to really win the game or force the at-bats or beat a reliever or whatever it was. That being said, the Bregman ball, I've got no problem with that. I mean, we're playing at the Crawford boxes. Like, that's, the signature of the stadium, and those guys know it.
You guys have this, like, Yankees have a similar thing.
Oh, we do this with the short porch, and if one ball finds the porch for either team, and vice versa, that can change a game. Like, Yankee fans know that better than anyone. I will say, the ball that Judge hit, if you want to get into exit velo and launch angle, Devin Fink, DEVAN FINK, I just spell out the whole thing. He had the stats on it, and it's, the balls that were hit like that throughout the season, I think the average distance was 414. I think the shortest ball this season hit like that was Swole Calhoun. And Judge's ball was 20 feet shorter than that. So the wind was truly whipping, and it is what it is, because that's where they played. But that one does sting if you're a Yankees fan. Like, and Trev, the other thing is that's the Judge, like, signature home run. Like, how you can picture a lot of guys, and when Judge turns one and Luca Ponzatanzi's coaching him up. But for Yankees fans, like, that's kind of the one that makes Judge different, right? The right field short porch, like, that ball jumps off his bat. They shouldn't have won that game. Framber gave them 2 runs, and they didn't score anything offensively. But for what's been a house of horrors for Yankees fans and anyone trying to beat those guys, that's just another thing you put in your pocket, and you're like, man, that hurts. It hurt.
I don't want to twist the knife.
You could twist it
right now, but I want you to think about something, because we're talking about Houston's steadiness and their ability to just kind of march forward. They don't really have any freaking distractions or lineup decisions. Think about what the New York Yankees are doing in an AL championship series. They're like shuffling around their infield. They're handing over the keys to shortstop to a young dude, who like has barely any big league experience. And they're doing that in an ALCS series. The guy didn't even make the roster in the DS. Like, we're making these decisions. We're the New York Yankees. We're moving guys all over the place. We're playing guys out of position. Talking about Cabrera in left field. The guy's an infielder. It's the bottom line. Like, these are not the times to be doing this, dude. Like, I know Yankee fans have been calling for it. They don't want IKF at shortstop. I disagree. Whatever. It's not a big deal. This is not the time to be shuffling your roster around and moving guys around. And Peraza looked pretty good out there. I like his actions. He made some shitty throws that people would have killed IKF for. Rizzo picks him up, but I like him out there. His actions are good. I'm not saying he shouldn't be there. He looks the part. But this guy should have been getting run all September. He should have been there in the ALDS, planted at shortstop. Like, if this is your guy that you're going to trust that game 2 is probably the biggest game of the year for the Yankees. And you're going to trust it. You're going to trust him there. You probably should have trusted him in the ALDS. He should have been playing every single day at shortstop in September. Like, these are things that, like, I just don't understand for the Yankees. We talk about all the time. Pena at shortstop for the Astros. They let him play shortstop this year and let him settle in. And now this guy is like been one of, if not the best player on the Astros in the postseason. So like that is blowing my mind a little bit when I think about it, about how we're scrambling. And like, it seems a little bit desperate in the AL championship series against the biggest foe you can find.
It doesn't feel like the Yankees, right? It feels like the Rays. It feels like the Rays calling up, a Shane McClanahan or someone to, hey, postseason's here. Let's run. You're our best guy. I know you didn't play during the regular season, but here you are. I think the Yankees believe in a little bit of a sneak attack, and I think they thought this Oswald option was going to be there, and maybe they could surprise Houston with it. No, man, it's
surprise them with what?
I don't know.
Stellar infield defense. Like, what is like?
Because
the
I don't know.
Don't care
exactly.
The Yankees play at shortstop.
Exactly, and the Yankees think they do. But no, man. I've talked about it a lot, and me and Jimmy and BBD on Talkin Yanks have deep dived throughout the year. But yeah, it's a weird mix of feeling right and feeling a little sad. Like, why did we do this? There's a lot of voices, we are very close to the Yankees. There's a lot of voices that get votes. And I think things have been split for a while now. And, if you're having a group make decisions, and now that group has been divided on a lot of things for 2-3 years, I think that leads to things like this. And, don't get me wrong. I'm kind of a democracy guy. Like, I love putting things to a vote.
So
like,
you're kind of a democracy guy.
Yeah. If you, me and BBD were getting dinner, I'd be like, hey, what do you boys want? Like, I'm not we're getting Tex-Mex and you're going to like it. But when you're running a baseball organization, no one likes Tex-Mex. If you're running a baseball organization, like talking about team identity and the Guardians and that stuff starts to matter. And the Yankees, guess what? They can't quantify that. So they don't try to, and they think they can do things like this that, yeah, man, that they should have been playing this kid since at least early August. The Yankees had an August collapse that was a disaster. They called up Cabrera. He's been playing. And now Peraza's out there. And yeah, I mean, the bottom of that lineup that, the Astros are laughing. The Astros are saying, you know what these kids didn't see in AAA? Framber Valdez.
It's a great point about the bottom of that lineup. The Astros are looking at it, and you see Higashioka, no offense. I mean, he's a catcher. Not an offensive-minded catcher. Not many are. And then you have 2 rookies who are coming into the Lions' den. They're licking their chops, man. And what did they do last night? 0 for 6, 0 for 9, those guys with 5 punchies.
I mean, Framber basically starts playing how quickly can I get these guys out? Not even will I get these guys out?
And these guys are good players. I don't want anyone to
Yeah.
think that we're saying they're not good players. Higashioka's had some good run in the big leagues. He's had some moments offensively. Peraza and Cabrera, I think, will be around for a long time. I've watched both these guys. They have what it takes to be in the big leagues. There's no doubt about it. But how many times do we say it takes time to get acclimated and feel right and become yourself in the big leagues? It just takes time. Rookie year doesn't happen for a lot of people. I mean, there's a few guys that'll break that mold every once in a while, but dude, I mean, it's just a difficult situation for them to be in. I know they love being in it, and it's going to serve them well later on in their careers. They're getting this experience. I think it's great. But that's not what this is about right now. This is about the Yankees trying to win a championship. And the way they went about handling these dudes. And again, like I'm going to say, if you could trust them in the ALCS, why couldn't you trust them, like you said, in August?
And just a reminder,
that, man. But I feel like we got to get off the sad Yankee vibe here. Got to give a lot of credit to Houston and what they've been able to do. I mean, you go JV with a stellar start, Framber with a stellar start. They've had easy bullpen transitions. Like they haven't had to really think about it. Presley's looked really good. And timely hitting, 3-run bomb. I mean, as soon as Bregman hit that, I know you were feeling like shit. This game is going to be tough.
Yeah, we're pretty good at simplifying things. Trev, I love what you just threw in there. Dusty Baker hasn't had to make a decision. We're gonna play Houston Astros baseball and whoop on you, and they have. And everyone's been trying to break these playoffs down more simply into the homer, and sometimes it works. Alex Bregman hit a 3-run dong into the Crawford boxes. The Yankees didn't score an offensive run. So when that happens, you don't have too much merit to stand on. And kudos to the Astros. And I think spinning it to the upcoming game. And if, I can spin this positive in both ways, the Astros dominated and won. In a way, they were kind of supposed to. They're the better team. They're at home. It goes back to the stadium, and the Yankees have their bad man waiting for them, Garrett Cole. I hope he can hit and play short. But Trev, the next game, Game 3, is brought to you by DraftKings. NBA is back. We just submitted our JM football picks as we compete for some Super Bowl tickets. And if you're an NBA person, you can bet $5 on any NBA money line bet, and you'll get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Their same game parlays are super easy to use. Rack up a couple easy ones and get yourself a winner. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOHNBOY. Make any $5 bet this week and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Only at the DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code JOHNBOY. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Game 3, we're heading to the Bronx, Trev. We're finger crossed on multiple levels. You do have Garrett Cole, but the pitching, like we said, hasn't been the Yankees' issue. That on the other side is your boy, your Moxie King, Lance McCullers Jr. That I mean, you're gonna
throws a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
So
that's where it's scary, man. That's where it's scary.
I have this vision of Lance McCullers Jr. and there's this like well, like a water well, just kind of out in an open field. And one day he's strolling on by. I don't know what he's doing out in that field, but he's just out there, clearing his head. And he sees this well and he says, "Go check this well out." And then he gets there and it's like glowing red a little bit. Looks down in there. He's like, "Is that baseball? Is that fire?" And he reaches his hand down there, and all of a sudden his hand extends. He's like Gumby. It goes all the way down and keeps going. All of a sudden he picks up a ball. And that's where he got his curveball from hell, from that wishing well.
Smoke more weed, turtle. Yeah, I don't, I don't know what any of that was about. I'm happy. Uh, you're going to the Bronx. You're gonna have the crowd, the short
Yeah.
porch, and Garrett Cole. I mean, this is his now second season on the line start. Because if you go down 3-0 to these guys, it's over. Like you said, what's the percentages? 81% if you go down 2-0.
If you go up 2-0 at home 81% of the time, I think overall the people that have gone 2-up have won 84% of the time, which I don't numbers, you know.
Yeah, not my bag. Um, you got to win. I mean, you have to win game 3, and outside of that, potentially game 4 if you want any shot to be a part of this series. But if you're a Yankee fan, you really can't even let your mind run yet. Like I think Saturday is going to be one of those weird vibes at the stadium. I know we're debating going, that it if Houston goes and you get another Breggy bomb or Jordan, who gets a hit in his last at bat, if he finds guess that short porch might work for him too. Um, there's going to be a vibe in the stadium that's almost like 5 years of frustration. So, Garrett Cole, he's got to be special. And the big boys in the lineup, we can harp on the
Oh,
rooks at
stop.
the
Wait,
end.
wait, 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 wait.
What?
When I said the keys to victory in this series were Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge, you mocked me.
What?
You mocked me.
Yeah.
And now look at you. You're about to say the
Well,
keys
Trev,
here are the big fellas.
I was mocking you because it's the truth and it's obvious. I mean, they got Stanton, Judge, Rizzo. They got to go. They got to go.
Well, because the lineup for the Yankees, as we pointed out earlier, I mean, it's not exactly long, and there's not a ton of experience at the bottom of it. So yeah, I mean, you got to have your guys, dude. And Bader's been putting up good at bats. He looks good on the Yankees, dude. What's his contract situation?
He's there next year,
He's
and
there
then
next year.
free agency.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think he's going to fit in really well with that team. He looks like he really enjoys playing, and he comes from a good organization over to the Yankees. I think that's going to be great. I like him in the leadoff spot. Like even him taking that base on Judge's, almost homer, taking second base, like tagging up there. That's a hell of
Yeah.
a fucking play, dude. Like not many people do that. Like your first instinct there is to get off halfway, even a little bit more than that. So if that ball does drop, you're hustling, but you read it correctly, and I think that was a massive play. It didn't end up mattering, but yeah.
You get a bloop single there, and it's the biggest play of the game.
This game was
Yeah,
3-2, and it didn't feel like that.
no, man, because the Yankees offense didn't do anything, and I wanted to give a little more respect to the Yankees pitching because outside of one pitch by Luis Severino, which by the way, it was a bad pitch. They were getting the outside corner ball, 2 balls off, and they tried to go in on Bregman, who gets his hands through like us, and the
Chokes
Crawford
up like a
box is right
mofo.
there. That was the only run scoring play this game that was like offense driven. And that's playoff baseball. And Houston is so good in playoff baseball because they have a ton of experience over the past 6 years now. Like, so I don't know. It's dark time for the Yanks. You got Garrett Cole on the mound. Win a game however you have to. 1-0. If the bats break out, good. And then you have Nestor waiting the next day. So Houston held serve, and they were supposed to hold serve. If the Yankees had stolen last night's game, if Judge's ball went another 15 feet, Clay Holmes comes in for the save, we would be peacocking because we would say, we got Cole, we got Nestor, we're about to go up 3-1. Just can't say anything because there's a really good chance you're down 3-0. And my God, that crowd in the Bronx, if Houston gets a chance to sweep their ass, holy smokes. You thought the Bronx was burning after that win in some of those clips? Sheesh, don't bring your car. So I don't know. It's scary times, man.
I mean, for Yankee fans, it's tough because you you had the start to the season that was immaculate. Then you had the lull, and then you kind of picked it back up before the playoffs, and then you had a tough Guardian series, and now you're facing the big bad wolf in the AL, the Astros. I mean, the daunting task ahead. You knew it was going to be facing these guys. It wasn't going to be easy, especially the way the pitching lined up. But yeah, you got to go. The big guys had to step up. That's the bottom line. Garrett Cole, be Garrett Cole. Judge, like, let's go. Let's hit that same ball at Yankee Stadium. And Stanton is a wild card, I think. Like, you kind of never know. Like, he can absolutely carry you, dude. So we'll see, man. Yeah. I wouldn't go to the stadium if I was you guys.
And like you said before, Altuve and Yordan waiting to go. So kudos to the Astros.
Last at bat. You're right. I thought he didn't get a hit yet.
Yeah, he is not a bloop, but he bleeped one off Wandy. That's usually what it takes. So, no, if the Yankees get one, I mean, that game 4 can become real, and everyone keeps referencing it. So we'll mention it here. 2017, Houston held serve at home. The Yankees won the next 3 at home. Houston went on to win. We know a little bit of funny business, but it's why home field's supposed to be important. It's why we care about the regular season, and Houston won 106. Yankees were on pace for that, but they had one of the worst months of August and then didn't start making moves. And hey, I won't go into full loser talk, but you mentioned a couple of the rookies, like Andrew Benintendi was supposed to be a big piece for this team. DJ LeMahieu is their normal leadoff guy, and he's currently not around. So, hey, that's loser talk. Houston's coming to the stadium. You got to win a baseball game, and then we'll talk about winning another baseball game. Meanwhile, Houston, they're just whistling through the streets. Like,
I'm gonna text my boy Breggy today and say, hey man, way to keep those hands inside there. Really, you're really showing the youth what a nice baseball swing looks like. Choking up a little bit, barrel to the ball, maybe a little bit down on the label there, but it's all right, man.
Like, we might get like a video of McCullers just like grabbing a chopped cheese in the Bronx and walking into the stadium, just like middle finger, walking in there with like one of the Yankees' wives. Like, good luck. No, that was too far. Bro. That was too far. But he is going to love Yankee Stadium on Saturday.
He's going to be like spitting behind the mound, pulling his hair back. I love that guy, man. I don't know him at all. I might not like if I met him, but I like watching him pitch.
We don't know him.
I don't know him at all.
Like the idea of him.
He's my Moxie King, though.
Yeah. Anything else?
That's it, man.
We'll be live streaming tonight. Kotuck. So the vibes are immaculate. I mean, we were covering every topic last night, solving the world's problems. Colonization got brought up.
Coming up. Who knows what's going to happen there? I have no idea.
You know.
Magic.
That's what they're calling it. Jig sucks.
Padres? Phillies?
My Phils? Forget I'm an alum.
Maybe these Phils.
People forget I used to play Major League Baseball. It's like really good.
What?
Wait, what?
The best thing.